How's it going, everyone? My name is TheStarkz, and welcome to a brand new The Last of Us Part 2 video. Today, I've got some information regarding Neil Druckmann, who, as we know, there was a set of leaks, a lot of leaks that were, that kind of happened throughout the course of, I think it was April, if I'm being honest. And that really took a toll on Naughty Dog's reputation because of some controversial stuff, which I have no insight on. I have no idea how heavy the leaks are. I've got some minor things spoiled, but in terms of like the big plot stuff, as well as some some of the actual cutscenes, I have not seen myself. However, it really took a toll on a lot of, especially on Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann. And so this GameSpot article, which will be in the description below for you to read on your own if you're interested, basically states how The Last of Us Part 2 director reflects on the leaks and why he hopes the haters will play the game. So Neil Druckmann speaks about the leaks and says the very people yelling the loudest about the game could benefit the most if they actually play it. So The Last of Us Part 2 writer and director, as well as vice president at Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, has reflected on the leaks of the much anticipated game that's finally launching this June on PlayStation 4. Speaking to Eurogamer, Druckmann summed it up succinctly. "They sucked," he said to the leaks. Druckmann said it was disappointing that he and his team worked so hard on for so long made its way into public ahead of its time. But it wasn't uncharted territory for Naughty Dog. The ending to the original Last of Us also leaked, while robbers stole a truck carrying copies of Uncharted 4 and spoilers leaked online. Now, I do remember that. It was wild that time, but I do remember that story. But anyhow, I digress. Leaks might be sad and unfortunate for the developers, but Druckmann doesn't sound too worried about, because nothing can compare to getting your hands on the game itself. He quotes that didn't take away from anything at the end because nothing compares to playing it, Druckmann said to the leaks of Naughty Dog's earlier games. Nothing compares to being Ellie and feeling those moments, not just in cutscenes, but in gameplay conversations, the music, and the emotional effect that has on you. And the story was constructed in such a way that it's really not about twists and turns. It's about slowly ratcheting the crank, and feeling the tension with the choices the characters makes. We know once people get their hands on it, they're going to feel what it is whether they've seen it or not, and that's what made us confident. Okay, it's going to be uncomfortable for a while. The game's going to be out there, and I think you're going to get what we want you to get out of it. The leaks for The Last of Us Part 2 also led to further controversy surrounding Ellie's sexuality and diversity in general. The people yelling about this are exactly the ones who could benefit from playing the game and expanding their horizons, Druckmann said. "We made a journey with Ellie, and Ellie is who she is. It's been defined in the previous game. We're going to continue going forward. She's now 19. How do we explore all the facets of what it's like to be 19? You think you're invincible," Druckmann said. "You think you know what's right and what's wrong in the world. You are sexually attracted to people you're attracted to. Those are all things we want to explore for this character, and that's how we do honest storytelling." Druckmann continued saying, "So if you somehow have a problem with that, well, then that sucks, but the story is going to win for us. It's ironic, or maybe sad. I think that people will benefit the most from this kind of story are the ones that are yelling the loudest right now. But I hope there's enough in the game to draw them in and just normalize stuff that is normal. It is a part of our society, and it is a part of owning up to an interesting, nuanced character." Wow. So Druckmann hitting the nail in the goddamn coffin. Now that's a Victor Sullivan reference, by the way, for Uncharted 4. Listen, I have nothing but full-on respect for Neil Druckmann. First off, I find that Naughty Dog, a lot of their games tend to have very, very rough development, and a lot of games do. You got to remember that, right? Like, Naughty Dog isn't just, Naughty Dog might seem like the staple of gaming, but there's so many other studios out there, like Rockstar, right? Like Santa Monica Studio, Epic Games, if you want to consider them now. There's so many studios and developers out there who also go through this like tribalistic or very like rough development, and it's really eye-opening. Now, and And to me, it's crazy that these leaks even happen, because I don't think, although Uncharted 4 had that whole robbing thing, like there was no like heavy leaks, and I guess that's because, to be honest, the game didn't really end with like anyone dying or anything necessarily. But there's obviously still spoilers, but I think The Last of Us Part 2 really deals, like, I feel like the plot itself is just one big giant spoiler. Which obviously sucks for Naughty Dog, because, like, first of all, how do you even promote that, right, without spoiling things? And they've done an incredible job not spoiling things, if I'm being quite honest, in terms of marketing. The leaks are just an unfortunate part of the development process that they had to go through, and it sucks, because I know a lot of people who've already been giving Neil and the company a lot of this quote-unquote social justice warrior bullshit, and I think it's absolutely asinine and ridiculous that people are actually contribute or associating these titles. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, what is so bad about having a character who's attracted to the same sex, right? Like, why? And like Neil Druckmann said, he said, but I hope there's enough in the game to draw them in and just normalize stuff that is normal. It is a part of our society, and it is a part of owning up to an interesting, nuanced character. He said that perfectly right there. Perfectly. And it's sad that we live in a society, as he stated, where people can't embrace this normal thing, right? And they try and blame other people for this, and they think that they're being shut, like this quote unquote agenda is being. There's not that. Come on, like there's no agenda. There's no, and you can try and spoil this stuff for me, which won't happen because I have everything disabled. But like, I know when I play the game, it's not gonna feel like it's like any agenda, because like he said, this is a part of our society, whatever diversity we have, whatever sexuality people have, and embracing that is normal. And I agree wholeheartedly with Neil Druckmann and anyone else who agrees with Neil Druckmann. And of course, to those who don't, I feel for you, because I feel for you. I feel bad for you, is what I mean, because like you shouldn't feel that way, like you're feeling like this agenda is being pushed, because you have your own views. Like, just if you don't want to play the game, don't buy it. But if you do and you want to see what Part 2 is all about, then play the game and keep your personal biases out of it, right? It's that simple. It's that easy. And I really wanted to share this news, because I think this is a very much more positive light from the recent things and stuff from the leaks and whatnot, because like I said, it really sucks. Because you already go through this very like tough development phase, and then to have parts of your game leak like that for no reason, it's not good. So I really appreciate Neil in sharing this whenever he did share this, and for Eurogamer and GameSpot for covering this news. So yeah, thank you a lot for watching this video. Of course, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, as well as like the video and share it amongst your friends and family and whoever you deem worthy of watching this. And of course, I've been TheStarkz. Peace.